And I'm not quite sure what team was playing this match. I can't remember. Oh, thank you, crowd. It's the United States. Oh, it's USA.
And you know, we started Overwatch League with me admonishing the crowd for chanting USA for the Dallas field, but you can chant USA for USA.
That's right.
That is acceptable.
This is, if the US is playing in a match, you can chant USA. That is okay. I think that's the only reason that you can. It keeps Monty up at night otherwise.
It does, it does.
It's a scary thing for him. We're about to get things started here. Starting to get things out on Shrine on Nepal. Brazil looks like they're setting up the triple as Hex has started to call the Goats Comp the 3-2. That sounds like a hamburger to me. So I don't know about that one, Hex.
Nine players to me, so.
Yeah, that's right. Triple, really, that's 3 times 3, which is 9. So, hey, I did math on broadcast and got it right. That's a first. US in the red, Brazil in the green as usual, and they are being sneaky.
Yeah, Brazil is up top right now, just waiting for this point to unlock. We almost never see this, no contest. Early on, they're going to scout, they're going to come around the side, show their composition late, come in with a Lucio speed boost.
Spicy, here they come. Let's see what they can do. Can they roll over the US? Coming in behind the Reinhardt shield. Muma wasting no time to just walk right up there. Swinging away, doing a bit of damage. Both teams playing this a bit defensively, but now the stun comes in. Muma forced away, separated from his team. Can they capitalize? Hydration out there in the Brigitte too, so they need to be careful about that. So far, so good for the US. They've nearly capped the point. Rockus there. The bio grenade can be so big in this kind of matchup because you get that anti-heal on so many people on the enemy team. Meanwhile, Coalescence already coming out right now. Rockus goes for the sweep dart. Don't know if he connected with anyone. Hydration down already. Dudu with the first kill in this one. Muma with an early shatter. Gets some people down on the ground, but is he going to get the kills? There's a pin on Anil, but they can't quite finish him. Oh, but Liko taken out by Sinatra of the US, starting to finally pull ahead in this one.
Oh, this is what the 3-3 against the 3-3 can look like. It is a brawl on the point. It's all about charging up those ultimates. And Brazil, they struck first. In fact, they took out Hydration while he was in his rally, but it wasn't enough for them because USA, they roar back with a nano boost onto 100 charge Sinatra. Sinatra already with that fast grab. Liko's gonna be coming back with one of his own.
Yeah, they got something now. Going for this high ground, kind of drop in, attack again. If Neil 360 shatters, oh, you missed your opportunity, man. That would have been safe. Oh, maybe next time. Going in now. They got those CC ults. Use it. Charging forward. It's a speed boost. Oh, Neil knocked down, though. Another shatter comes in from Muma. Neil down almost immediately. Ola, though, responding. Roasting Rockus with the Coalescence. Liko getting charged now, about halfway there. Ooh, now full charge. Gonna be doing a lot of damage on the time, but Space comes in with the self-destruct. Muma's like, hey, I'll get a cool 2K fire strike on the way out. The US holds strong.
Wow, that was great from Team USA. They come in, loading highlight, nice.
Hey, there, loaded fast. Way to go.
I mean, here's another Graviton from Sinatra. It's paired beautifully with that self-destruct. Muma's there to finish everybody off. Brazil had the sound barrier, but it just wasn't enough to block all of that damage.
That's right. Rockus has been looking pretty good on the Ana, as you'd imagine. Looks like it's going to be the pharmacy coming up for Brazil. Now it's going to shoot him out of the air, man. Rockus so accurate with that Ana. Alamo had no chance staying alive. Meanwhile, Sinatra coming in. He's got the nano boost. Going to try to pop Ana out of the mech. Liko, meanwhile, finishing off Hydration. And that's going to be about it, man. Overtime expiring. And I don't think the Lone Fair is going to do it. Liko's a great DPS, but you need to be like invincible to take the point back in that situation. Oleg gets, you know, it's a moral victory when the Zen kills Zarya like that.
I mean, right now it's just Goth and Space on the point, actually. And Space is Team X. So this is an opportunity now for Dudu to bring this back.
Yeah, Alamo down though. And it's Space. Got the mech back now. There's a Q just in time. Mula over on the Wrecking Ball to try to sustain it. Brazil has actually made this last a lot longer than you'd think a team could. But the US still gradually grinding ahead, and there we go. That's going to be point A. Wow, Brazil made them work for it, but in the end, it was 100-0 for the US.
Yeah, it definitely was pretty dominant there from the American side. Sinatra showing off a lot of those Zarya mechanics, known as a Zarya player, of course, before he had his Overwatch League debut, and in addition to his Tracer, but that aggressive play, and they're really playing around him this time. You can see that he's receiving all those nano boosts. They're prioritizing, giving him a lot of ult charge. And it's working out for Team USA so far.
You know, Raucus really kind of showing us something to take note of with the meta now, that if you bring that pharmacy in, you're going to have to worry about the Ana, and good Ana players will just pick it out of the air like he did.
And there was, I know a lot of the fans were a little skeptical of the Raucus pick, but honestly, anytime you listen to the Houston Outlaws comms, I'd say 50% of it is Raucus talking, and he's just such an exceptional player when it comes to strategy and in-game comms. He's sort of the glue that can hold a team together. And especially when he's on Ana, which is the hero he really made a name for himself, performing on an individual level as well as a team level.
I just want to know, is it stronger than the glue that keeps his haircut together?
So it takes a lot of glue.
That's my question.
So Rock is playing very far back right now, trying to zone him off with the hydrations. Farah, and making it difficult. They're going to zip around Brazil on the other side of the point for a flank, but Liko is going to get knocked off by Muma.
Yeah, Muma sucks him off with the halt, just pulls him right off the edge. Meanwhile, Brazil getting pushed back into the corner there. Could be dangerous. Muma down though. Dudu gets him with the whip.
All right, and that's going to be Brazil actually taking the first control of the points. So come around, some members drop down, the other ones come over the side. And in spite of losing Liko early, they're going to try and get space right now. Sinatra's back in though with a Doofus. Raucus flailed to death in the corner, and Neil will charge Sinatra.
Man, they collapsed on that so quickly, and you know, you gotta respect Sinatra for trying to bring out the Doomfist and making it pick there, but now Brazil getting super aggressive here.
And this is
a little bit of the spawn camping.
Yeah, this is what was missing from Brazil on Shrine. They were playing much more passively in those engagements than they did against Canada. We didn't really see Neil charging in. This time they are choosing to take the initiative. They're gonna start protecting this choke, as we so often see.
That's right. Pretty standard stuff on Sanctum. It's up to the US to try to break it with their flanks, or they're going to try it with the barrage going in. Nice shield to protect the Farah, actually, putting that in the doorway, not letting Brazil respond with their own fire. Neil goes through with the charge onto Sinatra, though, and Brazil coming back. They've got the coalescence to keep everybody healthy, and US getting pushed right out. Brazil, over 50% control now built up.
I mean, excellent play from Brazil. So they see the Farah barrage coming in. They know that Muma is being nano boosted on the Winston, so they fall back, wait for the nano boost to end. Muma doesn't have the support when the nano boost ends. His supports can't get through the doorway, and they're able to cut down the members of Team USA, and Brazil holds on now, 70%.
Uh-oh, that's a sleep with a self-destruct coming in. Neil gets woken up. He got the shield up in time because of it. Oh, somebody is like, why'd you wake it up? Now Moth gets booped off. Dude, booped off by Moth, rather. Neil manages to finish off Muma, and now Brazil has to collapse back to the point to try to hold it. US nearly flipped it there. Liko, though, with that Graviton Surge, he's got the tools. He's just going to charge in onto Raucus. Alamo finishes him off, gets two, and Brazil still holding. They're going to win this fight, and I think they may take this round.
And there's a Graviton Surge out now, but there's not enough damage to deal with it. Reverse Graviton comes in to catch space. Muma is the last one on the point.
Oh, well, you got to try something, but he is going to take a dive, and that is going to be Brazil tying things up here on Nepal. We may just have ourselves a series.
That's right, 2 100-0 matches, each one-sided, one in favor of USA, one now in favor of Brazil, as they sort of started playing aggressively again, trying to get into that back line. And USA, you know, they didn't have a lot of protection for their supports.
Yeah. Well, I think that just kind of shows how strong this Brazilian team can be, and that when they get control of something, you're not going to see them take a lot of crazy chances for the most part, especially on control maps. I feel like they're very good at calming down, responding to things appropriately, and you know, there is a lot of good communication clearly on this team.
Yeah. We're going to move now to Village. Brazil does have some pocket picks that we really haven't seen a lot of yet, including Liko's May, but it's not going to be, this is oftentimes a point where May can be used due to the layout of the map and the fact that Blizzard can be so effective on this point.
Yeah, they're going to try it with the Farah, though. Liko, you know, of course, the Pharmacy kind of suffering a little bit against Raucus's Ana on Shrine a little bit earlier, but if he plays it a bit safer, a little bit more aware of it. If the Farah puts pressure on the Ana, it's hard for the Ana to shoot the Mercy out of the air or something too, so you kind of have to approach it a little bit differently.
I mean, this is just so tricky though, because the Farah has to get very close to the point, and really, are you going to get an elimination here, especially now that Dudu's down? Everybody has to fall back. It is a game with Farah on Village, of the team that's on the point, just reacting to where the Farah is, pulling back, but maintaining the point pressure, and then the Farah is trying to rapidly switch sides to get a pick. But there's, against the 3-3 composition, USA is just going to get a lot of Zarya charge. They're going to get a lot of support charge out of this. I don't see this as being effective.
Well, we've seen this before, right? We've seen teams try this, and you're just not going to finish anybody off, right? right? You're going to do damage that's going to be healed up. And like you said, get the L charge over. Do swaps to Hanzo. You know, he died right away, but I do think they do need to make some changes. And I would swap off that Pharah. You know, not to mention, Sanano boots on Amuma as the fight begins. Neil down already. And I don't know if they even needed that nano to hold it. All right, Honorado comes in. There's a barrage. Muma gets a shield up. Doesn't even really need it too much. And now the Earthshatter comes in. Gets one or two. Nice charge onto Alamo. How in the world did he catch him with that? Ole down as well. No supports now for Brazil. Honorado gets a kill there, and it looks like, ooh, they were trying to flip it, but just not enough people around. There's a nice sleep dart.
Sleep dart right into the doorway, and yeah, Neil gonna take a dive off the edge just so he can reset there.
That was the plan anyway, but they did delay it a little bit. That's the key there. They actually staggered Neil's respawn now to make it harder for Brazil to group up.
And USA going to try and play this high ground again, so they're playing very aggressively. They caught Dudu out here earlier. Looks like Brazil trying to come through the doorway. Hydration using his shield there to see around the corner.
Yep, you're in that third-person view. You can kind of see a bit wider angle. Brazil coming in now. US falls back. Sinatra, he's got that barrage, or rather the grab. Neil down already, and yeah, no defense against that one. And it is a slaughter as the US destroys Brazil here. Not even close, and with that fight won, that should secure the map. Going to be a little bit of a delay coming in for Honorado. If he can hold on until his team comes back, maybe they can contest. It doesn't look like that's the case, and the U.S. will take Nepal.
As classic as it has been to see Pharah on Village, I really think that in this meta, that is not going to be a viable pick on this point. If, with the 3-3 so dominant, wasn't really an opportunity for the Pharah, as good as Liko is on that hero, to get enough damage done to finish off some kills, get those eliminations, and instead just superpowers the USA's Zarya player Sinatra, as well as their support ultimates.
Yeah, I mean, and all of that isn't even mentioning that when you're playing the Pharah on Village, even back when she was more meta, you don't really do as well being the attacking Pharah. You want to take the point and then use the Pharah to defend and kind of cover those chokes with rocket fire, right?
Yeah.
So they just made it, I think they made it way harder on themselves than they needed to.
The other factor too is that when you're running Lucio on that defense, it's a lot easier. So Pharah can use the concussive blast to move very quickly from one side to another and try and take somebody out. When we have the Lucio on speed boost, the team inside can also move that much faster, reset with Zarya bubbles or the Reinhardt shield. It's really, really tough, I think.
You saw them doing that too, getting the whole team back in position when they knew where Brazil was coming from. We've got a Diva stat to look at, so we'll check that out. Obviously comparing Honorado to Space. Space damage is over 9,000, just barely, just barely. But those 5 self-destruct kills, man, and I mean, that kind of speaks to the teamwork that we were seeing on USA, right? I mean, they were setting up a lot of that, giving him the opportunity to get those kills.
Also, that right now, I think you can make a very definitive argument that Space is probably the best American player.
I think that's definitely a conversation to be had. He's certainly, I think, the best off-tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Best players, I'll often think about that.
I think Space is, in fact, right at this moment in time, the best American player. And I think he did have some nerves in the playoffs, which I think would be the knock against him. But by the time he turned 18 and we saw the last couple of stages, I think overall, he has been really the shining example of American players in Overwatch League. And you know, when he puts up stats like that on Diva, it's pretty impressive.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the maps for this series. We just got done with Nepal. We're going to Kings Row next. The old classic. It's going to be Brazil's pick, as they did lose map 1. And that will be our hybrid map. Second one in the series here. First map was pretty exciting. And I wonder what Brazil has in store, too. I hope they're not going to try to run the Pharah into the 3-3 again if that situation kind of presents itself, because I think that's been proven between yesterday and today to not really be something that works. So.
Well, I think we're going to see Liko once again on the Hanzo.
Sure.
We have a lot of information about both this Brazilian Overwatch World Cup team and Brazil Gaming House of how they like to play Kings Row in the last few weeks. So this has been a map that Liko really has emphasized the Hanzo on, especially on that attack. And, you know, they nearly beat Canada on this map. It went down to that 5-4 time bank thriller. So this has been a strong map for them overall.
Yeah, and, you know, going back, we know they have these other picks, too. We know the May can possibly come out. I'm really surprised, actually, that on Village we didn't see the Ana May variation of the 3-3 comp that they've used in the past in South America. So, I don't know.
Yeah, we shall see what they do. I do think that they have to go back to some of these tricks, though, if they're going to create an upset here.
Yeah, for sure. Well, here we go. Kings Row. Looks like all that pollution regulation has just kind of gone by the wayside at this point. And
London was, they're just going back to their 19th century industrial revolution roots.
I guess so.
Sounded like a great place to live. I mean, Charles Dickens just makes it seem wonderful to live at that period of the UK.
Futuristic David Copperfield or something like that. Omnic. Please, sir, I have a recharge. Because he's a robot. Get it?
It's not David Copperfield, but sure.
It's not? Which one was it?
Oliver.
Oh, are you sure?
Oliver Twist. Yeah.
Oh, you're
yes.
right.
I'm very sure.
Well,
it's okay. I'm here for you, for the literary references.
The only reading I do is in video games, so hasn't been an Oliver Twist game yet that I know of.
That would be sad.
There was a Tom Sawyer game on Nintendo back in like the 80s. No reading really in that one though. You just kind of fought pirates, which I don't know how that relates, but it was the 80s. Who cares? Anyway, Brazil versus USA. Brazil down one game as we get things started on Kings Road. They are on attack, and indeed, we see Lico on the Hanzo, setting up some combos with Honorado Zarya, probably. We will find out.
Yeah, pretty classic attack here on. He's looking.
He knows that Sombra's out there, man.
For Sombras. And hydration. Hydration's one of the best Sombras in the game.
It's hard to check for Sombra with a Hanzo too. Respect for even trying that. Hydration does take some damage, gets sawed out a little bit here as Brazil jumps on the point right now, waiting for it. Sinatra takes a big shot, and Brazil has pushed US back. They need to group up again, and now the Diva coming after Lico, and it's going to be a chase down, as it looks like the US on the back of Sinatra's Doomfist is going to maybe set up some kills to turn this one around. That said, Muma is down, but Brazil still has to fall back. Now, they've got the respawn advantage, so maybe they can make a go at this real quick.
I think it's going to be tricky, though. I mean, Muma's going to be able to make it back relatively quickly by using those Winston jumps. And Hydration can buy some time, too. They also have a nano boost, so should be pretty easy. Muma at 50% charge right now on his ultimate. Can get to 100% with that nano.
That's a headshot onto the Doomfist from Lico. Immediately, Space going to chase him down, though, yet again. Moth got the kill into Dudu as well, so Muma with this nano boost just going to be feeling good.
Yeah, he's got the primal now, basically.
So away at Neil.
They're going to be stuck in the hotel. Again, though, we may see an opportunity here, especially with Moth falling late. Alemao, long-range kill.
Yeah, well, Alemao, we've seen this guy do amazing stuff on the Lucio all weekend long so far. Now they've got the Transcendence from Ole trying to push forward along with that. Lico has just been harassed so much by the tanks of USA, though, trying to keep this guy alive, and with Muma's Primal Rage, the U.S. has an opportunity to stay in this one, and they will.
Brazil really had an opening there before Neil died. Great reaction from Space to move forward and pick up the kill onto the Brazilian Reinhardt, because if they hadn't done that, you see, Brazil was ready just to go ahead and trance in that big advantage with the Ano down. Now Hydration's going to catch him before they can hit the hotel.
Easiest EMP in the world, but where's the follow-up from the U.S.? Raucus gets one, and that's going to do it. Meteor strike coming in. Sinatra waiting out that shield. Damage again to Honorado. And he's down. Wow, that was a double with the E. Woo! Sinatra.
And coming into this, we talked to Team USA, and we talked to them about the Doomfist Sombra combination. And they were saying they really like this because there's not a set way you have to play this composition. You can play aggressively, going all in with that EMP and the rocket punch like we saw. But then there's also, you can play reactively. You can wait for them to engage and then react with the rocket punch once they try and contest the objective like we're seeing now.
I mean, disruption is the key word, right? Oh, and Alemao gets another long-range one on the Muma, finishing him off with that headshot.
Oh, man, that grab was just eaten by Space.
That's what Space is there for, man. Great Diva, gets an nano boost, but he gets knocked down, gets charged as well. Neil are gonna take him way out of the fight now. Moth is down, so Lico with another one, and actually Brazil starting to turn this one into their favor in a big way. Hydration down.
There's still three members, Space, Sinatra, and Muma on the point. They're gonna try and contest it. Space is not gonna use the self-destruct, so it does get captured.
Yeah, just couldn't get there in time. Looks like Lico's gonna make a swap.
Space gonna take a nap in front of the payload and get bludgeoned out of this mortal coil.
I hate being bludgeoned during my nap. That's the worst thing to wake up to.
It's pretty awful.
Hit with a flail. Ouch. Well, Brazil's got the payload rolling. It was dangerous, and they don't have a lot of time left on the clock right now, down to about 3 minutes. And when you get to point C on Kings Road, you're going to need a lot. Meanwhile, the U.S. being sneaky. From on high. The grenade came down from Moth, but didn't seem to really connect with anyone. All lay down early. Sinatra gets one. Meanwhile, Honorado trying to chase people down in the bookstore. A lot of valuable tomes there. You got to be careful. Now Hydration taking some damage. But Honorado under 50 HP, man. He needs to get out of there. Moth gets him with the grenade. And the US is going to hold the payload right there.
Yeah, some rockets is going to be put into the enemy spawn right now. Get a little bit closer to that barrage. Muma and Sinatra on their way back right now to the payload. Really started with a nice bionic grenade from Moth there. The anti-heal was the trigger that allowed the Team USA to engage, and Hydration to pick up that triple kill.
Yeah. So they go for a really long-range one early on. Meanwhile, Lico, he's right behind you. Attack on the Sinatra. Doomfist not too good without any of his abilities.
Yeah, he's pretty darn useless.
Yep. Has to get back to his team, though. Now the dive comes in. He used his translocator, and he couldn't go invisible. That was an easy dive for the US to capitalize on. Oh, man.
Follow up now. Hydration not going to stop there as Ole pounded into a wall.
I mean, that's kind of just handing yourself to the enemy team on the silver platter, right? When you harass a little bit, but then you go visible again, you use the translocator to get back to your team. Well, guess what? That Sombra now has no way to defend herself.
Yeah. That's pretty rough. And Sinatra now back in his natural habitat, the enemy team spawn.
Yeah, pretty much.
Lico again flanking around. Yeah, born and raised in the enemy team spawn.
Yep. Brazil trying to sneak around the side now. They've got the nano boost and they've got
Lico's back.
Oh, they've got Lico pushing the payload there. Uh-oh. Retreat.
That's a great play.
Yeah.
Remove them from there.
It's a good use with the Sombra, but now they have under a minute remaining. They have to get that payload a lot farther than it is now. Barrage from on high. Hydration gets one before the sleep dart brings him down. Lico does get rockets in the back line, though. Searching for one more, trying to find the kill on the Moth. He does get it. Two supports down, that's right. And so Brazil, maybe with this sound barrier, can push forward a little bit here. They get the D-Mech onto space. And so in the end, honestly, that backcapping being done by Lico kind of split up the US a little bit, sort of messed with their defense and led to a big team fight for Brazil.
Yeah, also at the EMP, so he's able to return once again on the high ground and make a play onto the back line, make it easy to kill Raucus, but look how many ults USA is coming with on this defense. This should be theirs. Sinatra hack, though, is not a good start for America.
Yep. That's right, 10 seconds remaining for Brazil. They're nearly to the end of point B. Gonna be two support ultimates used by the US right away. Nano boost, though, mitigated by them just backing away. The US didn't get a lot out of those, actually. Meteor Strike comes in, Sinatra uses this to kind of escape. Rocket punches his way back in again. The US scrambling to try to stop Brazil from taking B, but so far, so good. Self-destruct coming in, trying to zone the US out. He gets to. Both supports could not escape from that. And Brazil, they have paved the way to take B if they can just finish off the fight. Space coming back in and gets two, and he and Sinatra with that primal rage might be able to just barely hold right here. Honorado D-Max, and I can't believe it. Lico, the last man standing on the point, and it will be a hold right before the end of B. The US coming through in the clutch there.
Yeah, another nice anti-heal. So the price of that on a grenade was that both supports didn't have any cover because Moth had just thrown that out. However, it did hit the tanks from Team Brazil, and that means the rest of Team USA was able to move forward in spite of having no healing. There was no opportunity for Brazil to heal either, and that made the difference in that engagement.
Well, it was a really good defensive effort from the US all along the way, right? I mean, point A was held almost to the very end, and then point B, they got a good early defense, and it was really only Lico with a bit of Sombra heroics that even got Brazil that far.
You love to see that kind of shot calling, though.
Yeah.
What Lico was doing with the rest of his team in Brazil, that was the way to get out of that spawn camp situation. It was the way to punish it and get a lot of extra distance, nearly making it all the way to the second point in a situation where it was looking pretty grim. So they bought themselves some wiggle room at the very least.
Well, it's neat to watch this Brazilian team too, because you can tell they're kind of like right on the verge of being like really, really good Overwatch players, right? Because they're already really good. They made it here, right? But it's like they told us when we interviewed them earlier this week. They said, we love coming to the World Cup because that's our opportunity to learn a lot about how to be better as players ourselves and then take that back to our region and kind of share that, right? They feel like, and appropriately so, they feel like they've kind of capped out as far as how good they can get playing against the teams they have down there in Contenders South America. So I think this is an opportunity that they were using well.
I think a lot of GMs, especially with 8 new teams announced in this league, we're going to be looking at some of these Brazilian players for sure. I think a couple of them have shown some impressive performances this weekend in spite of potentially a couple of losses.
Absolutely. Definitely a group of players people should be looking at for Overwatch League next year. Here we go. US on the attack. They need to push it part of the way through B. Honorado with an early kill on Amuma. Ole with Sinatra, so it looks like the US will have to go back to spawn here. Space gonna get demec'd. And de-lifed almost immediately, so a good early defensive fight for Brazil.
I mean, Ole hit the biotic grenade out of spawn, so why not play aggressively under those circumstances? Sinatra now going to make the shift over to Brigitte, knowing that Dudu is on the Tracer this early on.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen these guys can play dive pretty well as well. Rocket's keeping everybody healed up, trying to keep Sinatra alive. Can barely do it. Sinatra's down to like 1 HP there. It was low. Ooh, Liko, one more shot. Could have taken him down from Rockus. And Ana back up to a good amount of damage on that biotic rifle. Oh, sleep dart on to Neil. And that's a big bio nade going in for Rockus. Trying to use it to keep Muma up. And yeah, looks like that's going to be the fight the US needs again. You know, Ana is going to be so big in this meta. We're already seeing it. And any meta where you can work in that biotic grenade is going to be devastating. You cannot stay grouped up when the Ana's on the other side.
Yeah, you definitely can't. And you see that USA is now taking things a bit slower. Oh, no. The spawn room it just went away as it was capped, and now it's just going to be a slaughter in the London Tube.
Yep, that's right. That's a subway straight to the underworld.
Oh, man, that is one of the roughest split spawns I've seen in a while.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, Brazil with a bit of bad luck there. Having the point be taken right as like half their team came back at the forward spawn. US doing a good job, though, of recognizing the timings on that, capitalizing on it. That's going to get them a lot of distance in point B already.
Yeah, they're not giving up a meter for free here. You can see Hydration, Muma, Space, Sinatra all still very far forward. Hard for them to get even out of point C. Liko leapt upon.
Stomped like a Goomba by Muma. And meanwhile, Muma with the Primal Rage, trying to get a bit more out of this one. Brazil pushed all the way back. They've got 6 ultimates, though. So if they can group up, but I don't know if they're going to have time to. Neil needs to live here. I mean, needs to stay alive.
USA is winning this fight 5 versus 6, Toa, because Moth is just rollerblading on the payload right now, doing his best wins impression.
You got to use your ults, man. That's right. Brazil had 6.
Moth is just going to win this game.
Apparently.
I mean, can they get there? They have a Primal Rage. Maybe they can leap out. Yes, they can.
Oh, Neil just used the sleep. He's not going to get there. What in the world? Moth with the solo push all the way there. The U.S. just kept Brazil pinned back in their spawn. That is the definition of spawn camping.
That was some style right there.
No kidding.
See that smirk on Moth's face. He knows it.
What a crazy way to win that one. Moth was like, yeah, it was all me.
It's like, I got gold medal in objective time.
That's right. Definitely won the objective time battle, yeah.
I mean, Aero, the Team USA coach, came into this, and he said I could say this, by the way, quote him, saying that he wants to BM some teams.
Well,
I mean, that was some mega style from America. They won that 5-5 versus 6. Brazil had all those ultimates, and you understand why they're reluctant to use them. They're thinking, okay, we need to hold these so that we can actually make a firm defense, because at that point they would have a spawn advantage in terms of proximity.
Yeah. Well, looks like we've got Malik down on the floor with Hydration. Let's see what he's got to say.
Thank you very much, Monty and Doa, here with Hydration from Team USA. Hydration, going into this match, a lot of people were wondering if you guys were going to take Brazil seriously because they're a little bit of a tougher opponent. Getting out there, having played a half with them, was it as tough as you expected?
I mean, we're playing serious, you know. Sinatra Reinhardt is pretty serious.
That's it.
I mean, yeah.
All right, so can we expect any more crazy compositions from you guys? Will there be any Bastion? Will there be any Torbjorn? Will there be any Symmetra?
I don't know about Bastion, but maybe Symmetra.
Yeah. Now, I want to know, is this game a little bit polarizing for you, being that, you know, you have some Brazilian roots, you and your family? Is it polarizing to be playing against Team Brazil?
Kinda, you know. Last year, I kind of want to be on the team, and I messaged someone, and they just said, we're just going to take this team. They didn't even try me out, so, you know, it's kind of like revenge for me.
Oh, okay. So you had a whole different energy for this. Totally understandable. Well, hey, man, good luck for the rest of the game. Guys, everybody give it up for Hydration one more time. We're going to see the conclusion to Team USA versus Team Brazil right after the break, so stay tuned.